What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, bringing you another Shady Showcase from our previous Shady Showdown challenge, which was to make an all Eevee team using all the evolutions and win a battle. I threw out there that if you wanted to do an Ubers battle, good on ya, and some people took advantage of that, and we will be showing a couple battles, 2 Ubers and 1 OU. Actually, that's just what ended up happening. But before we get started with these battles that I've chosen, the 3 battles, I want to thank everyone that participated. I'm actually going to run down the list of names right now in no particular order. We have Roberto Angel, Amethyst Beast, Bosk, Cypher LP, Edgy Espion, John Agrium, Liam Rog 15, The Hydreigon King, Sassamella, Modern Musicator 123, A Rules 12348, and Ralfonso the Great. Thank all of you guys for participating in this challenge. But now we will be showcasing the 3, the few, the proud. The first person we'll be showcasing is his in-game name is Rain Please, but his YouTube name is Ralfonso the Great. So this was a really cool battle. I really enjoyed watching this one. I'll just narrate it and we will let it play out. Rain Please starts out with his Jolteon, and his opponent leads with his Giratina. Jolteon does get the special D-drop, which was pretty important because it forced Giratina to switch out, but for some reason, Rain Please decided to switch out into Umbreon as well. So then he's forced to do a double switch once he sees Devastation, his opponent's Skarmory. Flash Cannon does relatively nothing to the Swiston Espeon, and he's able to get a Psychic off on the Giratina to take it out. His opponent now goes into Crobat, which is really confusing because it's like, wait a minute, Crobat is weak to Psychic, so what is he doing? But then Crobat uses Dark Pulse, so I started thinking, hey, wait a minute, this is probably the Zoroark because there's no way that you're carrying Dark Pulse on Crobat. There's no way. You're not doing that. So then keeping it shady, his Umbreon, awesome nickname, decides to go for a Dark Pulse of his own to reveal that it is his Zoroark, and then he goes for a Toxic, but unfortunately his opponent switches into Skarmory, so that nullifies the Toxic. Rain is then forced to switch out into Espeon to take the incoming Drill Peck, which does a hefty amount, actually brings it to a 2-hit KO range with the right roll. So he switches out into Vaporeon, but he is whirlwinded out into Flareon, and this is where things get crazy. Toxic Orb activates, and Flareon here decides to go for a Flame Charge to get that speed boost. He does get a crit, but I really don't think it mattered. I think that it's a 2-hit KO regardless because of Sturdy. So now Flareon's getting fast. He goes for the Facade to take out the Skarmory. Good idea going for the Facade in case he wanted to switch into Kyogre for some reason. But here he goes into Kyogre after Skarmory's taken out. Goes for a Facade to 73%, a redonkulous amount, and then Flareon goes down, unfortunately. But Flareon did put in some work, and that was really cool to see. Here, Jolteon goes for Thunder, super effective, boom. Looking at the rest of his opponent's team, it's just like, wait a minute, is this really going to happen? Scarfs Jolteon just thundering away. Like, even the Zoroark, boom, done. You think that it's the Crobat, no, it's a Zoroark, done. And I mean, Zoroark probably could have went for Sucker Punch if he carried it, which would have nullified this sweep that is happening right before your eyes, but he didn't. So Rain Please, Ralfonso the Great, gets to take down his opponent's team thanks to the rain that Kyogre put up, and I guess that's why his name is Rain Please. As soon as he gets rain, it's just Jolteon Thunder all day, every day. So thank you so much. That was an awesome game. Up next, we have Juju3, who is Modern Musicator 123. And this is an interesting battle. It's an OU battle, and it looks like his opponent has a Sun team and also some threats. But if you look, his opponent's very weak to Ice. So the first thing I thought, I was like, oh man, we're going to have like a Glaceon Destruction here. But let's see what actually happens. So, Juju starts out with his Jolteon, and his opponent starts out with Ninetales, goes straight away for the Hypnosis, putting Jolteon to sleep. Then he switches out into his Dusknoir, and Juju just opts to stay in and try to wake up. He actually does wake up second turn and gets a Volt Switch off, so that's really good for him. I never get second turn wake up, like once in a blue moon. So he switches out into his Espeon while his opponent goes for a substitute with his Dusknoir. Boop just goes for a Psychic to take out the sub, and for some reason his opponent goes for Will-O-Wisp. Maybe it was a misclick, I don't know, but it gets bounced right back into his face, so now his Dusknoir is burned and is taken out with a Psychic. Pretty much a waste of a Dusknoir if you ask me. Here, his opponent goes into Venusaur and gets off a Solar Beam, which does 62% to Espeon. But Espeon obviously lives, gets to get a Psychic off and bring Venusaur down to a very revengeable range, I should say. So here, after Espeon goes down, he decides to let me go into Flareon, and Luckily his opponent misses a sleep powder and he's able to get a flame charge off. So that's really cool because now Toxic Orb activates and his opponent goes into Mandibuzz, but Facade is still going to do, look at that, it's a critical hit, but it did 88% critical hit. Flareon definitely is underrated. I agree with that name wholeheartedly because now look, now he gets into the flame charge off. Now he's at ×2 speed, gonna outspeed everything on his opponent's team at this point, unless he's got like a fast Scarfer, but it doesn't look like it judging by the Pokemon he has left. So Flareon goes for a Facade, one-shots that Ninetales. Can you believe that crap? I can believe it. It's amazing. Flareon's a beast. I'm going to start using Flareon a lot. So here he goes for a Flame Charge. In the Sun is able to one-shot a Tropius and gain another speed boost, which is completely unnecessary, but amazingly hilarious. So now his opponent goes into his last Pokemon, his Bravery, gets destroyed by a Facade down to 13%. He went for a substitute. I don't know why. So now this is a Flareon 5-0 sweep. So that is fun. Really awesome submission. Thank you so much. So last game, we're just going to backtrack real quick. Last game ended with Jolteon. This game ended with Flareon. Not that I'm trying to spoil anything, but this last game is an Ubers match, and it's by the Hydreigon King. He's on the opposite side, so take a look at that. Looking at his opponent's team, we got another Zoroark, who is shifty as shifty, and a Cloyster is probably going to try to do Shell Smash shenanigans. Those are my thoughts prior to the match, but let's see how it actually plays out. So his opponent starts out with the Lucario, and Hydreigon King leads with Umbreon, which is unfortunate because he has to switch out, fearing any kind of CC or anything. Espeon just completely avoids everything because his opponent goes for a Sucker Punch, which was interesting because really Espeons don't usually attack first turn, even if it is Lucario. But you saw that he used Psychic and it didn't affect Lucario, which means that this is actually a Zoroark. Luckily, actually not luckily, I don't know why, he went for a Wish, but he did, and his Espeon went down. So now he goes into his Vaporeon to get a Scald off on the Zoroark and bring it down. Zoroark is very frail, so it goes down to 36% from a Vaporeon Scald. His opponent went for counter right there, which was stupid. But here, Zoroark goes for Focus Blast, and his Vaporeon just like red card and forced out his Giratina. So Vaporeon does get a burn on the Giratina, which is very, very nice for him, just for residual damage and to reduce physical attacks. So that's awesome. Umbreon eats that Shadow Sneak like it's a Big Mac, so it's no big deal for him. His opponent is forced to switch out into his Cloyster. Umbreon goes for Payback here, which really, this is where I started getting scared because I thought here Cloyster's going to Shell Smash, but instead he went for Blizzard and missed. So I was just like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to win the game with Shell Smash. I mean, true, he was toxic, so he would only have a limited amount of turns, but he probably could have taken out a good chunk of the Hydreigon King's team if he had Shell Smashed. But it doesn't look like this is a Shell Smash set, and Toxic is taking its toll on this Cloyster. Umbreon's back at the full health thanks to a Wish, and he puts off another Wish as his opponent switches into Lucario, who's holding a balloon. So now we know, okay, Lucario's holding a balloon. Here is where it's nuts because Leafeon receives that Wish and sets up a Swords Dance, and it's like, what? Leafeon is underrated too because bam, even though he's so frail, well, he's not really frail, he's physically bulky, especially bulky. Leafeon does not exist, so his opponent goes for Bone Rush, expecting him to switch out, I'm assuming, but he stays in, which was amazing, gets another Swords Dance off. So here Leafeon's just like, nah man, Leaf Blade, boom, one-shots that Hypno. Are you kidding me? One-shotting a Hypno? I mean, it's not that hard, but still, holy crap. Here, his opponent goes into Lucario thinking that it can take a Leaf Blade, but it cannot because plus 4 Leafeon, Leaf Blade, Stab, all that fun stuff, it's going to take out, I don't know, look at this, boom, Ampharos, done. One of my favorite Pokemon just destroyed by a Leaf Blade. Can't even handle it. Can't even handle it. So he goes into Giratina. Here, the Hydreigon King goes for an X-Scissor, which I was surprised. I'm pretty sure a Leaf Blade might have taken the Giratina out. But you know what? To each his own, I always say. This is cool because right here he opts to go for another SD, knowing that an Outrage is not going to kill his Leafeon. Look at how pathetic that damage is from that outrage thanks to a burn. So now we have a +6 Leafeon. Goes for a Leaf Blade. Unfortunately, it really doesn't matter that it's +4 because he still has a Zoroark and a Cloyster left. So here, the Zoroark, not Cloyster, goes for a Sucker Punch and takes that Leafeon out. But not before Leafeon did a heck of a lot of damage to his opponent's team. You guys saw that. I think it took out 4 Pokemon. I think all 4 Pokemon were taken out by Leafeon. They were. Which is awesome. So Vaporeon's going to finish things up here. He's going to just keep going for the Scald, which really doesn't matter because the only attacking move his opponent's Cloyster has is Rapid Spin, and that does pathetic damage to a bulky Vaporeon. So that's going to be that game. So this last game ended with Vaporeon. So we got a game ending with Jolteon, a game ending with Flareon, and a game ending with Vaporeon. It didn't happen on purpose, but once I realized it, I had to stick with it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you all for participating. Please make sure you leave a like down below if you want me to continue this series, even when X and Y comes out. Look forward to later tonight, the next challenge being issued, probably late, around 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Have yourselves a good day, but above all else, keep it shady.